Hello everyone, welcome back. So today I want to talk about more hauntings. Ever since I started talking about these things, I've been remembering, well, in my last video I talked about how in this video I was going to tell you guys the story of living with my boyfriend in his haunted house. Okay, so I live in a very small town in Virginia, and hold on, let me move this real quick. And all of the houses here are really old. Okay, and he lives in a 100-year-old, well, it's over 100 years old now, and it was in the same family for the whole time until my boyfriend bought it in 2009. And as far as we know, 2 people have died in that house. I mean, most likely more people had died there, but from what we know, it's 2 people, a man and a woman. And I moved in with him in 2010. And it's a really big house. Like he lived there by himself, and he converted the old garage into his bedroom, and it's like connected to the kitchen. Okay, and so you can walk through the kitchen through like this big swinging door, and it opens up into a big, huge second dining room. It's like a formal dining room, I guess. And connected to that is his library where he keeps like his safe and stuff like that. And I lived upstairs. There was like 3 bedrooms upstairs and a bathroom. And then there was like a loft or a foyer or something like that. It was like a little sitting area, almost like a second living room. And like he always kept the house real dark, and the stairs were like, they were really skinny. Instead of like being like huge open stairs, they were like real small up against the wall, and they went along the wall. And they were probably about, I don't know, probably like this big. They were really skinny, and they're made of like wood. So like when someone comes walking up the stairs, you can hear them because the wood creaks. And my boyfriend, he used to come home from work sometimes early, and we would always try to scare each other because he knew I was creeped out by the house. And he would come home sometimes, and he would sneak up the stairs, and he would scare the shit out of me. And it was this one day, and it would always scare me. And so I was like kind of on guard for listening to those noises. I was like kind of like I knew I had to like, be listening. Well, I mean, I'm paranoid anyway, so I was like always like really on guard. And I was in my room one night, and when you walk up the stairs, they stop directly in front of my old bedroom. And one night I was in the room reading, and it was kind of late. It was probably about 9 o'clock at night. And I thought my boyfriend was in the shower. Like, that's what he was doing. He was taking a shower and getting ready for bed. And all of a sudden, I hear what I thought was him. I hear these creaking, the creaking of the stairs. I thought it sounded like somebody was like taking one step, and then they would stop, and then they would take another, and they would stop. And then, so I thought it was him. I was so convinced it was him because it sounded like what he would do. He would, try to scare me. So I ran to my door, and I stood, like, here's my door. I stood on the wall right next to it, like waiting for him to come in so I could scare him instead of him scare me. Well, I heard him stop at the top of the stairs, which was right in front of my door. And then I didn't hear anything else. It just went away. So I was like, what is he doing out there? And so I got the idea that I'm just going to open the door and scare his ass. So I opened the door and I go, what are you doing? And there was nobody there. I mean, I heard it. I fucking heard these footsteps. I heard the footsteps come up the stairs. I heard them stop in front of my door. And then I open the door and there's nobody upstairs. And I run downstairs and he's still in the shower. That scared the living hell out of me. And that's only the first experience I had. Okay. And then, like, I had my own room upstairs to keep my things, but I slept in the bed with him in his little off garage thing that he had turned into his room. And when you walk into that room, there's like, as soon as you walk in, there's a bathroom to your left, and then there's like 3 steps, and it goes down into his room. Okay, so first it started off in my sleep. I would be crying. Like, he would have to physically wake me up because I was sobbing in my sleep. And that's something I don't do. I never did before that. I mumble a little bit, but I don't like actually talk in my sleep. As far as I know, I mean, he told me, like now I sleep alone. I live alone. I sleep alone. So I don't know if I talk in my sleep. I might still. I know I sleepwalk. But he would tell me that I would be saying things in my sleep and I would be crying, and I was like trying to push him because, you know, in my dream, I was like trying to like get away from something. And that was like going on consistently every single night. I was having these like night terror kind of things. And they progressively started to get worse. I remember vividly, this is what scared me the most. One night, I always read before I go to sleep because that makes me super tired. And one night we were laying in bed, my boyfriend was sleeping, and I had the light on, the lamp, and I was still reading. And I fell asleep, you know, because usually when I read, I fall asleep real quick and then my book just drops. Well, I guess when I went to sleep, I instantly slipped into a dream, and that I don't ever recall that happening. But in my dream, it was the exact same setting. I was in the bed reading, trying to fall asleep, and all of a sudden I get this sense of dread. And now this is a dream, but it's like, it seems like reality because it's the same thing I was just doing in reality. And excuse me. I start getting this sense of dread, this big sense of dread. That's something, and I turn towards the door because when I sleep, I kind of sleep on this side, and what I'm facing is the fireplace. And so behind me is the door, my boyfriend, and the bathroom, and the, you know, all that, and the stairs. And so I turn around because I get this sense of dread in my dream, and I look at the top of the stairs, and there is just like a black mass. It has no form. It's just like a black cloud of smoke or something. And I get this horrible, like, all through my body, and it's just like every alarm bell in my body was like, this isn't good. Don't sit here and just look at it. Run, do something. Well, in my dream, it starts slowly coming towards me. And as it gets closer, I can start to see like the form of like shoulders and a head in the smoke. And it stands at the end of the bed. And I start to scream in my dream. And I guess I was screaming in real life because my boyfriend was shaking me and waking me up. And I was crying when he woke me up. I was crying. I was like, you know, gasping for air. I mean, it was terrifying. And then the next night after that, I woke up in the middle of the night, swear to God, both my hands just straight up in the air, like this. I was sleeping like this. And so when I wake up, because I was like startled out of a dream, I wake up and I was like, oh, what the fuck? Like somebody was like holding my arms up or something. That's what it felt like. I mean, it was just so terrifying. And in that space of time, it felt like there was just like emotionally and in my personal life, there was just like a black cloud following me around, like that thing in my dream. I was having bad luck constantly, like with the law. I was getting arrested a lot. I was, doing a lot of drugs because whatever, because I was trying to escape reality and I was trying to escape my pain in the wrong ways. And now that I don't live there anymore, I get a sense that it was just something trying to get my attention, maybe. But now my boyfriend, he's got cameras that are like security cameras around his house and in his house. And, you know, because his house is full of like old, expensive furniture, like antique furniture and stuff. That's like what he does. He collects it. And he started showing me orbs on his camera, like that were being recorded. And I wish I knew how to edit and all that stuff. I would like insert those clips into this video. Maybe one day I'll just like upload them to this channel. But yeah, like you can tell, because like these orbs are like, you can tell they're spirits or something, because I don't think a piece of dust goes in and out of a door. You know, it goes, these orbs are like, sometimes they like pulsate, and sometimes they're real bright, sometimes they're see-through. Most of the time, they fly in and out of the door. Like they don't just randomly go through different walls or whatever. They go in and out of the door like they're walking in and out of a door. It's crazy. But yeah, that's what I wanted to tell today. I'm thinking tonight I'm going to film the Ouija board session. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it inside or down in the basement. Maybe, you know, if whatever y'all want me to do, I'll either go down in my basement into that weird little room and do it, or I can do it in here. I wish I could do it in my boyfriend's house, but he's such a fucking pussy and he will not let me. He doesn't even want to look at my Ouija board. He's like, nope, it's evil. And I was like, but I saged it and I know what I'm doing, so it's all right as far as I know. I tried to mess with it the other day, and damn thing, I sat there 30 minutes and the thing didn't even fucking move. So who knows if it's real. We'll see. I hope it is, because that'd be awesome if I could talk to some spirits, because I know there's some here, and I know, you know, they're trying to like get my attention from the way that they're doing things. But yeah, if y'all want to see me film that Ouija board video, let me know if y'all want to see me do it in the house or down in the basement. I think the basement would be creepier, but yeah, let me know. If you guys like my videos and you want to, you know, hear some stories and watch me do some weird shit, just subscribe and I'll be here. Bye.